Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Garden of All, where you get all of the pleasure and none of the guilt. I am Samantha Jane Love, and with me, I have the beautiful.
Judy Reed.
Um, this episode is going to be very, very interesting. Let's just put it.
Mm.
We have come on and because we decided that we were going to come on and record, and things are just not going the way that we wanted them to. And potentially we could have said, no, let's not do this, but we want this to be real and honest and true and authentic about how life is as a person, a woman, a mum, all of the things. And so we've decided that in all of our craziness that's going on, I use that word lightly and with jest of myself. Um, and it's the craziness in my brain, the stupid stuff that we tell ourselves. So
Mm.
we just thought that it's a good place for us to come and be as authentic and real as possible. There could be tears. There could be anything today. So today we decided that we were going to start talking about black tourmaline.
That
Um,
was the plan.
that was the plan. That was the plan. So Judy has been looking for her black tourmaline. Where is it?
I have no idea. All my black tourmaline jewelry cannot find it. Cannot find my clear quartz with black tourmaline running through it, which is just the most beautiful crystal. All I could find was this tiny little piece, which is good. It's good. I managed to find a piece, but I have spent all morning and nowhere. It's like it's vanished on me.
And funny enough, I have got a stupid amount of black tourmaline at home as well, somewhere. I can find every other black thing. I can find black shungite, I can find black kunzite, I can find, you know, you name it. I can find some jet. I did find my crown.
The crown is very
The
important. I think,
crown.
we
Very,
need a crown
but
today.
my head doesn't want my crown on it today. And you're gonna laugh at why as well. But I do have only because I have got a stupid amount of um this is my clear quartz
Mm,
with the black tourmaline running through it.
that
Um
is so pretty.
it's so pretty. Yes. So
I wish you could toss it through and send it here. No, I'd lose it.
get to a labyrinth sort of thing, like Queen of
Yes.
the Goblins, the Goblin
Yes.
Queen. Dance, baby, dance.
One of my favorite films.
It is. It is. See, I told you we were going to go wherever we go. Anyway, so black tourmaline, and it is quite interesting that we've gone to black tourmaline. We had a whole heap of other things programmed in for today, but while we are filming this, we are in another Mercury retrograde and all of the fuckery with it. Um,
Hmm.
we have got it's good for the extra fuckery comes to Pisces, Sagittarians, Libra, and Gemini, and we both fit into those categories. So all that
Yes.
stuff that we
Joy.
thought that we thought that we thought that we thought that we thought we had worked on
Mm.
is all coming up to the surface, and it's like, sure about that? Are you
Mm.
sure about that? So black tourmaline is probably an essential in your house, just as much as we did the last episode with the selenite.
Yeah,
Black tourmaline is a perfect match, I think, anyway.
I agree.
And it's for purification, protection, grounding, and becoming the new human being. Literally, should sprinkle that shit over me every single day. Um, Now, if you can get it in a bracelet, um, maybe from Curio Designs,
Yes, curio collections.
Curio
Yes.
Collections,
We will
Um,
be getting some in stock soon when I can find it.
yeah. So it is really good to have on one's self, especially if you work and you're in a place where there's people. Generally, if you go to work, there are people.
Hmm.
You can have psychic attacks and all sorts of things. So it's good to help you just when you're going about your day. Oh, there she is.
She's
Welcome,
turned
colors.
up. A
Welcome.
little bit late today, but
A little bit late
that's the
today.
nature of the day. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so good for psychic attacks, good for really protecting a room as well. It's nice to have, if you put selenite in the four corners of a room, to put that, to put the black tourmaline at the same points as well, and to get them to work in together with each other. It's good.
Mm.
If you have little ones, just having a black tourmaline in their pocket as well. Tumblestones are always really cute.
Or
And
little pieces like this. These
yes,
are all I could find today, but it is still very powerful and very good.
yeah. And I've been looking through, I think this is one of the Bibles. I know that there's a book called the Crystal Bible, but this one, he was saying that when he was working with the crystal, that for him, it felt like it was the thing that was coming out of his body was like a ripple, taking a ripple out. So and when I was
Mm.
reading it, all I could see was like the black tourmaline as an iron, ironing out like that's just how I read it and saw it. So I think that that's a really good sort of way that black tourmaline does work. And it's really nice to, if you work and you're doing a lot of energy work with people, to get them to ground down. Um, Anything black really can do that, but I just love I think the black tourmaline has a bit of a softer energy than the black obsidian.
I agree. Yep. Yep.
Just a little bit. Jet is a little bit more flighty as well. It's lighter. But everyone has their differences and their preferences as well. So, um,
It
and
really is a very instinct type thing, I think, as it is with all crystals that, you get drawn to certain ones which particularly suit the vibration that you need or you might be looking for at any time. So,
yeah,
yeah.
and one of the things that when it's probably one of the things that I really like, when some people like, you must have this for you. If something makes you feel good and it's doing something that it doesn't say in the Bibles or the books or the whatever in regards
Hmm.
to it, and it's working for you, and that's what you need on that particular day to balance out whatever, because it could be that you think, oh yeah, I'm feeling ungrounded, and you go for a black tourmaline, but really what your body's actually, it's not that it's ungrounded, it's probably too grounded and it needs to be escalated a little bit. So
Mm.
um, always trust in your own body, because your own body
Yes.
has this wealth of knowledge that is unparalleled to anybody else's opinion.
Mm.
So that's probably the biggest take from this part of the episode. As you can see, this is our funniness. This is our how we're showing up today. And I really love the way that the what he got from Black Tourmaline, what he channeled through from the crystal. It says, "I am the great attractor of all that you must release and all that you can become." So, what I feel that is saying is that if it's attracting all that you're ready to release, it's going to bring some shit up for you.
Hmm. Hmm.
Happy day.
Yeah, fun.
It's also going to give you that feeling of stability that you can and you are ready to be able to do said thing, whatever that is.
Exactly. Yeah, the grounding to be able to work through it, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. besides it's just yummy to work with, I don't have much more to say about it. And obviously, it's an interesting one that popped up. I don't know why. You can't see my nails, but I haven't had my nails done in forever. And they're cat's eye, but they're
Very
like
nice.
oh, very cute. So they're very dark and black as well. So it's an interesting thing. So um, I had a funny feeling that I needed to reinstall the protection um, in my house, and it's
Mhm.
I find that protection's just like you gotta just because you cleaned your toilet once doesn't mean that it's clean forever.
Yep. It's yep, yep.
Unfortunately, these things need to be done again. Same with the vacuuming and the mopping and the dishes. They all need to be done again.
Yeah, we haven't found a crystal to do that for us yet.
No,
It's a shame.
we'll be really rich when that comes along. Anywho, so I was feeling that when Judy said, let's do black tourmaline, I was like, yes, hell yes. Um, and then because I'd been feeling, oh yeah, I need to do a bit more protection on the house again. And then today I've had a really interesting thing where someone came to apparently find the old person who was in residence in my
Oh.
house. And I was like, this just doesn't feel right.
You get that, yeah, sense.
Yes, yes. So definitely knowing that it is time to bring out the black tourmaline when we find said black tourmaline. And if I don't, I have got beautiful runes and I will put some salt across. So they show you in all of the Hollywood and the TV dramas about salt. Guess what? It is real. So if you would like to protect your threshold or around your house or wherever, do a line of salt and obviously make your intentions known about who you would like to come in and who you would not like to come in.
Who can cross
Um,
that threshold and who can't? Yes.
yes. So, and I like to put binding runes on all of my windows and my door. And there's a few other imaginary people that I like to call in and just to guard and protect as well. I do like to call in the Anubis warriors to stand guard for me.
Oh, do tell.
The Anubis warriors. Do you know
Mm.
Anubis warriors? So Anubis, the god of the underworld in Egypt. He is the jackal or the dog-headed um, god, and he is there of the underworld. And everyone thinks that he is, of this dark, because every time we go underworld, we think of
Yeah, yeah, people automatically
Lucifer
think.
or Hades, and these are all bad people because they're of the underworld.
Mm.
Um, and the underworld just means the passing, most things. We're not going to hell. We can get onto that as another topic as well, because hell could be what we're actually living right now for some people. Um, and, there's lots of different things of what people say Lucifer was or what he wasn't was. But the Anubis warriors, so Anubis has a flock of dog-headed warriors that come and so my connection with that is that in another life, many, many,
Mm.
many, 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 many moons ago, because Earth is quite a young planet. This is just my take. You can all have
Mhm.
your little takes on it as well. So my realm and Anubis, when he was still a humanoid, we had a love tryst. Um,
Really? Oh.
but it was a forbidden thing because we were not supposed to be. But I suppose it's like um, Cleopatra and Mark Antony. They weren't supposed
Mm.
to fall in love, but they did,
Yep, it happens.
It
It
happens. So there's been many over the years, over the star seeds, over the wherever. So this is just one of my truths. And so every so often I like to call in the Anubis warriors because that's what we do. And they come and protect me. So there you go.
That's very cool.
Um,
Very cool.
yes, yes. Sounds a bit crazy for some people, but that's okay.
It's
I
all
haven't been
right.
certified yet.
Yeah. If you're happy with your warriors, I mean, that sounds good, having a nice group of warriors that you can call on when need be. And I'm sure there are other people out there who have maybe the same warriors, or maybe they connect with different warriors. So,
Yeah, and I think that when we are asking for protection for things, we need to just be, all right, what is it that we want from the when we're calling in, when we're calling forth? What is it that we want in this here now moment? Are we and I think that we're literally going to go in circles today. Um, that there is the myth and then there's the myth behind the myths as
mm.
well. Um, just like, when I was a kid, there was the Clash of the Titans movie.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Remember the old with yeah, so and the portrayal of Medusa. So Medusa's always portrayed as the monster. And it's interesting that in modern takes of things, how they've really come to light of she was a, let's say the word witch, because in some things that she was one of the first witches, even for some stories. And because she was seduced by one of the gods, a man seduced her, told her some lies, and
I can't believe that happened. No, never.
we love you, men, but some of you, come on.
And women can
And,
tell
I've,
lies too and do the
yeah, come
seduction
on.
thing. So,
They're
yeah.
all in there. Anyway, so one of the other, so yeah, so apparently because he raped her as well, didn't just
Oh,
abuse her, raped her as well.
oh, okay.
Um, and then because that happened, she got punished and turned into Gorgon. And it's quite interesting that even still in this modern day, so whether it's myth or whether it happened or whatever, it does not matter. Still, in this modern day,
Yes.
we are sitting in Australia where we've had almost 100 women pass
Yep.
over, and the tabloids will not mention her name and almost put a bit of a victim spin on it. That,
Mm,
this person was the owner of a brothel, or this person did this, or she went to meet this person. It does not matter. We should not do
mm.
these things.
Yes,
If there's no
exactly.
consent, no means no, no playing around.
But I think you've hit on something there with the whole double standard of it all. Like, I mean, when you were telling that story, I was just thinking culturally today, in some cultures, that is still the way things happen. A girl gets raped and
It's her
she gets
fault.
blamed. She gets punished. She might get stoned. She might, there are
Yeah, you've brought
all sorts.
shame to the family. I watched an old like it was Henry VII or something and his wife, and he wanted to know whether she could, it was only just a series, but there's truth behind it. There's always truth behind it.
Mm,
Otherwise, the people will be like, this wasn't true to form. So that they really do their research when they're making series. And so she decided that he was going to just try and make a baby for her. And she was like, no, I choose it.
mm,
So
mm.
all right, well, this is going to happen. And yeah, so how many, how many times has a woman gone, all right, I'm just going to choose this. It's going to happen one way or the other. But if I make a choice in this now here moment, even though I don't want to, um, yeah. So there is definitely a double standard of all sorts of things. It shouldn't matter what your job is. It shouldn't matter. Um, yeah, because even if your job is to be a sex worker, unless you have paid for that person to do whatever you've asked them to do, if you want an extra thing, it's just like if you're getting your roof put on, if you want guttering, you got to pay more money.
Exactly. And you've got to
Like,
make sure they want to do the guttering. They might not want to do the guttering, you
yeah,
know.
you
It's
know, they might, they might freelance that off to somebody else.
yeah, exactly.
Somebody else. So don't just expect for something to happen. There is an exchange, a contract, a permission, a consent that's
Mm,
made um, in everyday life. And just because we did not, or we say we did not hear what person said, um,
mm.
doesn't mean that they haven't said those things. Um, Force is force. We have really gone dark and on a place.
I know we have. It's the black, but it's okay to be exploring
Well,
the
I
black
think
and
these
the dark.
are a lot of big sort of questions at the moment, and um, it got brought up last night in my training call, and there's a woman overseas, and she's like in her 70s. Her husband was drugging her, and essentially, um, she was passed out, and people would just have a go. And it's a big case on at the moment. I can't remember
I've
her name.
heard of that. Yeah, I can't remember the details.
It's not just her, it's a big case at the moment, and
Mm,
he must be a quite a wealthy man for it to have such a big highlight in the news, because otherwise it would just get shoved under the cover. I know somebody else that has had the same thing happen to them, and if you asked a group of women, if you've got 100 women in a room, I'm sure that within that 100 women, it's probably happened more than just one or two people that
yeah.
whether it's happened a multiple amount of times or whether it's only happened once. And it's an interesting thing where um, if you're been partying, or it is a normal thing, um, I say if you are passed out, you cannot give consent. Doesn't
Exactly.
matter
Yeah.
whether you were happy to partake in all of party things beforehand. If unconscious, sleeping, whatever, you cannot say, yep, I'm in, let's go. If you cannot
Mm.
say those words, it is a no.
It should not be happening. Yes.
Yes. Yes, definitely not. So, and there's other women that will unfortunately stand up for men who have broken that thing and gone, yeah, but she was saying yes. If you cannot, like, and you can tell.
There you go. You see, this is Chaos Day. That's my doorbell. I'm not going to answer it.
It really is chaos day. Oh,
I just, no more chaos. No.
that's funny. We definitely need to film something next week. Let's film all about Venus on Venus Day, Friday the 13th next week. It's going to be the opposite of what it is today. We're literally
Yes.
going to bring in the yummy juiciness for next Friday.
Sounds good. And I will work on finding my yummy juiciness in the meantime,
Oh,
unfortunately.
it's
Just that I
always,
can find that.
we've got tools. So, recap. We have talked about tourmaline protecting, grounding, and wanting to change something within your life. I can tell you now, today is not a great day for me to try and put black tourmaline on my head. It
No,
is,
I can attest to that. I did witness that just before
yeah,
we
it is not.
recording.
It is not definitely happening today. So tap into your body, where you're at, what's going on. We have talked about all different things, but I think the matter of what we're talking about is coming down to communication. We are in Mercury retrograde. For Mercury retrograde, we don't need to do anything really, but it can be a time where you need to be really specific and think about what is going on in your life. Take a little step back. You don't necessarily have to be pushing. For some star signs, it works better. Some people think that it's all a load of hogwobble. I don't know. Today, I'm like, whew,
Yeah.
that's what we have talked about thus far on said program. So this has been a bit of a doozy for
Bit of a
us.
meander, and
It has been a bit of Miranda, but anyway, we thought that we would just come on here and give you the authenticness of us. So um,
absolutely, because that's what it's all about, being real. So you don't need to put on masks. Sometimes you need to put on a mask to get through a certain situation, but generally speaking, you're allowed to be yourself and you're allowed to have bad days. You're allowed to say, I'm feeling delicate today. I'm just not with it. I'm, scattered. All of that. It's
yeah,
normal.
um, and on those days, um, it's okay as well to not show up. But we thought that being feminine leaders, it's also to show you that it's okay to show up and reach in and go, we're not freaking perfect. We're not
Mm.
trying to be perfect. We are so far from perfect today that it's not funny. Um, um, But what we might do is we might close this little episode off and then come back for the part two and get into the why we're not perfect.
Yes, that sounds very good.
All
I'm an
right.
expert on that one today. So I got to go get my doorbell. You
All
can close
right.
it out.
We'll wrap it up.
Bye.
We'll see you soon. Bye.